In this field, we have to come up with the arrangement, record the arrangement, usually separately from the video, do the video, and then mix it, edit it, smash it all together.
The idea of taking bleep bloop video game music and trying to make it sound as if it was played on instruments.
It's music, just because of where the music comes from doesn't mean it's any less. I think it's ridiculous to say that.
With video game music, it just never occurred to me the legitimacy of so many things I loved. I didn't realize it was okay and even professionally okay to like VGM for so long.
To make a lot of choices when you take something that was on the Game Boy Color and try to make it a full band or semi-orchestral arrangement, right? You have to make a lot of choices.
Video games have an interesting way of really immersing yourself, I feel like, more than a movie does. So I think that's why the music from video games had so much more of an effect on me.
Being a big fan of video games and music, I was heavily influenced by Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Discovering that the ocarina actually existed literally changed my life. I was so fascinated by the fact that this fantasy instrument could actually play some of the songs that you could in the game. It felt like when I finally got one, it would transfer me to that fantasy world, and I could relive a lot of those memories from my childhood. So YouTube was just about a year old at the time, and I did a quick search, and I was like, nobody else is really posting Ocarina covers. So I did a 30-second demo of the 12-hole Ocarina and playing Song of Time, which I'm really proud of this. It's still the most popular Ocarina video in the world. It's got almost 8 million views, I think. And it's just me in my bathroom playing Song of Time.
The GoldenEye medley, I made that in 2 weeks. To this day, I'm actually still pretty proud of that. I feel like that had this youthful excitement. That first medley that I put out on YouTube, the mix still kind of holds up to this day, which I'm really, really proud of, and I think it's because I didn't do much to it.
I was like, I wonder if anyone has a tutorial for playing Paper Mario music on guitar, right? And I found Jules' medley, and I'm just like, this exists? This is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
All of a sudden, I go on the internet in 2010. Suddenly, I found a YouTube channel named FamilyJules, and this guy's 500 subscribers, and I didn't even realize you could record music at home to that capacity and synchronize it with video. You start rethinking all those games that you played, and you're like, wait, this had a really good soundtrack. This borrowed stuff from this band. And
that discovery came around at a really low point in my childhood where I didn't really have a hobby or a passion, and I felt so lost, and I found that, and I was just like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And I showed my guitar teacher at the time, his name's Scott Terry, and I showed it to him, and I'm like, look, this is the coolest thing ever. And he was just like, you could do that. I finally thought about it, and I gave it a try, and I used some of Jules' old tutorials. I urge you to not listen to it because it is so bad, but I really it just happened at such a pivotal point in my young life where I was just like, I didn't think I could do it, but it really just, I just gave it a shot, and I feel like that's something that a lot of people are afraid to do.
When I started out, trying to figure out each little software was difficult. I can't afford a tripod. Let me put the camera on books and try to save some money here. There's so many elements that I do think are hard, especially at first.
Just getting over that initial hill is so difficult. It really is just an uphill battle. I haven't really uploaded a proper music video in 2 years or something like that. And right now, I'm in a like mental and physical place where I can return to it. But just getting over that initial hill is so difficult. But a lot of the time, just even opening Reaper and putting the MP3 in there is just like, all right, I got to take a break. So it's hard, man. It's hard to keep starting over and doing all the grunt work.
The arrangement process is such a creative part of it. It's a very draining, very just takes all the energy you have to sit there and recraft these songs. It's almost, in some ways, harder than writing it because you have to, in a very logical way, kind of like rearrange everything in a way that works for the instruments that it was not written for. Does this work? You know, is this honoring the original, and is it different enough that people won't just want to listen to the original, right?
Because there's a certain feeling that I get sometimes when I'm recording, and I haven't mixed anything yet, and it's just me dumping all the tracks in there, and I'm thinking, oh, this isn't my best work. This isn't the best I could possibly do. You know, it's the imposter syndrome thing kicks in, and it's the process of working through that. You know, when you're just tracking everything, and you have to say, just get through it. Like, you know, you wrote this arrangement and you know it's going to be good, and you just have to finish recording everything. And then when you sit through and clean things up in post and begin to mix things together, that's when things start getting really good.
It's really hard to be truly lonely, in my opinion. Feedback that artists can get in the VGM community that many people in other communities don't get. If you don't have friends, you will have friends. If you don't think anyone likes the soundtrack to something super obscure, someone loves it just as much as you, and they're about to write their album for it. I didn't have like that many music friends growing up. This was like my chance to be in a band, my chance to have like music friends. My real like first best friend, who I still talk to all the time, is Jonathan Parecki. He and I like worked on our very first collaboration. It is absolutely like, it has so many check marks on what not to do. We reused clips. We were in pajamas. I had an Angry Bird shirt. Like, we did not care. We just wanted like a taste of that exciting like YouTube world and the music world.
The first collaboration I did was with Panuganti, also formerly Swinkles 987, and it was Kakariko Village from Ocarina of Time. We neither of us really knew a whole lot about music production, and it was my first experience working with somebody else on music. And I had to figure out, well, how do I get my stuff to them? You know, how do I use file sharing? How do I get stuff in sync with them? How do I record to a backing track? That kind of thing.
Maybe like my 4th or 5th cover or something was a collab with my good pal Panuganti. He hit me up to do of course, we're stupid. We didn't just do a single song. My first collab was a medley with this kid, and we did Mario Party 3. It was a lot of fun, and he was super kind to reach out to me and give me that experience to someone who, clearly didn't have that experience.
What's cool about the video game music community is like there aren't really that many communities that are as supportive as this one, because like everyone realizes like we all play one instrument, maybe 2 or 3, but everyone is so open to helping each other.
But it's because we all have a mutual respect and passion for this type of art.
We really just inspire each other. I'll just kind of cycle around and figure stuff out, even though sometimes it might not be as directly we figure it out together. We really are, because a lot of us are self-taught, all share the same major passions, music and video games, right? Those two put together, even if we don't know each other, like I could hit somebody up that's done a cover and we'll 9 times out of 10 be able to get along just because we have that mutual passion.
If you feel obligated to be the very first and you rush things out and you're scared of the community backlash or whatever, you won't have as much fun and you won't be proud of your product.
Don't be afraid to suck, right? But you will absolutely never get better without being bad at first.
If your excuse is, I don't have a good microphone, that's bullshit. Like, you have a phone. You could do basically anything with it, and if you're complaining that I don't have the right gear, then just start there.
You should just start working with whatever you have, even if it's like your iPhone. And I wish I had thought about that sooner, so I could have focused more on being happy with what I was recording with, and then focusing more on the music. And I think the benefit of like not having the best equipment always forced me to work harder on the music I was putting out.
Take yourself seriously and really cherish what makes you special and different and powerful. Because if you take yourself seriously and you be a little bit of a perfectionist and find the thing that will make your creation stand out through the test of time, you will be so happy with that and proud of that, that this community will just circle you and enjoy you for you.